What's up, Ragin Nation? My name is Alex Yu and you're watching the Ragin Ronin review, and today I have a review for you. Last weekend I saw Chronicle. Chronicle is the latest film to come out from the found footage type of genre. For people that don't know what the found footage genre is, it is movies like Blair Witch, Cloverfield, Paranormal Activity, and Quarantine, to name a few. Now, this genre is not the favorite amongst a lot of people, but there are people who do love it, and this type of movie is a kind of like a love it or hate it type of deal. You either really don't like it at all or you thought it was brilliant. But before I get into that, let's just talk about the story. The story in its most simplest form is about three kids who find this thing, I don't really know what it is, underground, and then they get superpowers from it. I'll just leave it with this quote from Spider-Man, and that is, with great power comes great responsibility. So I'll leave it at that. Let's get into the characters. You have the main character, who is Andrew, who is a bit of an outcast. He goes to high school, gets picked on, and he's kind of a loner looking to fit in. Then you have his cousin, who is pretty normal. You know, he cares about his cousin Andrew. The third character, who is running for some kind of student council, some school politics thing. So they get together and they discover this rock, I guess, together, and they get superpowers from it. And this story is really about how normal people deal with having superpowers in the real world. And I would say that this is the most realistic version of a superhero origins movie. The movie is directed by first-time movie director Josh Trank. And I gotta say that keep an eye on Josh Trank, because this guy is onto some really good things. I would like to compare his style and his film with District 9. It was a surprise hit of that year. Nobody knew what it was going to be. In fact, a lot of things are really similar. For example, in District 9, it starts off like a documentary style where a camera is following the main character, and then once the action picks up, then it's like a movie. So this is what kind of happens in Chronicle. The movie starts off like a found footage type of movie, but then once the action kicks in near the end, it really feels like a movie. You forget that you're watching a found footage type of film, and that is what's so brilliant about this movie. When people think of found footage types of films, I think there's a bit of a misconception, and that is people think that, oh my god, it's going to be like nothing but jerky and shaky footage, and that's the thing that annoys people the most. I think found footage films are really misunderstood. The people who have ruled out that they do not like these films at all tend to think that even though there's a great story and great characters, because there is crappy camera work, it affects their overall score for the film. Like, they can give the movie a score of 1 out of 10 just because the way it was shot hindered it from being enjoyable. And that is really unfortunate, because this is a really, really great film, and I think that people who don't like found footage types of movies should still watch it, because it is unlike any found footage movie I have ever seen. First of all, I wouldn't even put it under the found footage category, just because when you watch found footage movies, you usually get the suggestion that this footage has been found by somebody, like whether it be the government or the law or news reporter or whatever. In this movie, it is not like that at all. It doesn't start off with that message saying that we found the footage. It is shot more like any other type of film, but through the eyes of video bloggers. We are actually seeing the movie and the events that take place in this movie through various cameras. It could be the protagonist camera, it could be a camera from far away, it could be a security camera, it could be like a news report from like a helicopter. So that's what makes this movie so brilliant, because we're not just confined to the protagonist camera. Speaking of cameras, I find that the cameras that were used in this film not only affect the style of the film, but also play a character or play a part in the film. It is a very, very important part of this film. And not only is it used to view the events from various angles, but if you really pay attention, our main character Andrew, he continues to upgrade his camera. He gets this camera first, and then he gets another camera, and then he gets another camera, and then there are more cameras. And I think this is kind of symbolism for the film, because as he upgrades these cameras, his powers get stronger. And that's why I think that the cameras have a very significant part in this film. It's kind of like foreshadowing, because he does upgrade to a more expensive camera. And what I felt that was really genius on the part of Josh Trank, the director, was that he made the audience forget that we're watching a found footage type of film. And that is through Andrew's superpowers. With the help of his superpowers, he doesn't need to hold the camera anymore. He just lets it levitate using his mind, you know, telekinesis. And that is great, because the audience doesn't have to worry about, you know, jerky footage or people running around with the camera and then it shakes everywhere. So that is really, really great. And I love that Josh Trank makes us forget that we're watching a found footage type of film, but he reminds us by letting us know that the characters are still aware that they're on camera. There's this constant repetitive theme where they say, you know, get the camera out of my face, or are you recording? They constantly do that just to remind the audience this is a found footage type of film. And it makes you appreciate it more because, wow, this feels like a really cool movie, but it's nothing like Blair Witch or Cloverfield. So that's why I feel this is a really, really great movie. And it's a rare type of movie that uses creative and really inventive ways to tell the story, and that is through amateur videography. Like I said before, the cameras could come from anywhere. It's not just a protagonist camera. There's another blogger in the film, and the angles change back and forth. And the whole time the audience are thinking, wait a minute, who's editing the footage? If this is supposed to be found footage film, who put this all together? And that's the beauty of this movie. I personally believe that the footage was never found. It is just that the story is told in this style, and it's the first time this has ever been done. So I gotta give a big 2 thumbs up to Josh Trank and the movie itself for giving me such an immersive movie experience. I felt like I was in the movie. I felt like, you know, I was watching it like I was watching a YouTube video and just waiting for the moments to unfold in real time. So that was really exciting for me, and it was all because of the way the story was told. There's a scene where an incident's happening and there's like bystanders holding like camera phones and everything, and that was a scene that just gave me goosebumps because I just felt that, okay, this is a different type of movie. I've never seen anything like this ever. And like I said before, I just want to remind people that it is a found footage type of film, but it is a found footage film that is most away from its own genre, if that makes any sense. And on a really nerdy note, I think this is what I would call a low-budget version of Akira. When you watch the movie, you'll know what I mean. I think the makers of Akira need to watch this movie. I think this is a case study of what Akira can be like. And speaking of which, I think that aspiring student filmmakers can use Chronicle as an example for an effective way to tell a story using non-conventional ways. And that's all I really have to say. 9 out of 10, the must-see movie event of 2012 so far. This is the best movie I've seen. I've seen 4 movies, Chronicle included, and I gotta say that watch this movie with an open mind. Give it a shot. Even though you don't like this genre, just watch it anyways. 9 out of 10, Josh Trank is an awesome director. Keep your eye out on him. I can't wait to see what he does next. My name is Alex Yu, and thanks for watching the Ragin Ronin review. Peace. So I was worried about whether or not the digital copy was expired. But even if it was, no biggie, it still comes with the DVD version, which is just a bit of a bonus to me. But I mainly wanted to buy this version, the 3-disc version, because I wanted